Coach Butler, Coach Water Polo, diving and swimming. Basically, there's possible of 10. The lowest score you can give is 0. 0 would be an incomplete or incorrect dive. Then you go from there. You look at everything that the diver does as they get on the board and start their approach, and of course their height and distance of their dive, along with their form during that dive. Certain dives have certain form that you have to have better flexibility. So if you're going to go do a somersault in pike, you've got to be able to almost literally touch your head to your knees. All of them are doing their fundamental dives and preps, and then they're going to go to a particular board and work on the complex dives. I'm looking for athletes that have athletic ability, flexibility, and no fear. I wish, number one wish would be to have athletes come out with no fear and be confident in themselves and be able to understand what they might become afraid of and how to overcome that fear. There's a saying that I go by, and they know it because I've said it many times. And it's simply, yes I can, yes I will. In other words, if you know in your mind that you are saying, I know I can do this, now I'm going to go do it.
My favorite part about the sport is how small the team is, so it's easy for us to get close with each other.
I'd say the hardest part about dive is that the weather conditions are not always the best, and then it's very mental of a sport more than physical, I think.
I think the team is pretty close knit because again we're small and we also have as much team bonding as we can. During competition days, we are expected to be on deck pretty early and to start stretching quickly, because with other schools then there's more divers and then you only have 1 to 2 boards usually, and you have to get in as much dives as possible before we start the competition.
Some tips for some aspiring dive athletes I would say is to do your research before you just show up and join. It's really a commitment, and the team and coach would not be very happy about you just showing up every now and then. We want you to stay committed and practice when we practice and be a team.
Depending on the person, it just depends on if you could commit time to both of them. For me, I don't really commit time for swim, so it's just easier for me to slowly dive.
For the dives that you have to learn, there's 5 groups. The forward group where you're going forward and flipping forward. Backward group where you're going backward and flipping backward. Reverse, which is one of the scarier ones, where you're going forward and flipping backward, known as a gainer. And inward, where you're going backward and flipping forward. And then the last one is twisting, so you can add a twist to any of those groups. And it's required that you learn all 5 groups.
Yeah, I think dive is a pretty scary sport if you don't have the mental strength for it, but I think anyone is able to do it.
Join dive!